Hi guys, welcome back to Malik's Destiny. Today I'm just going to be talking about how I knew Malik was the one for me. So step one, to begin, I first knew he was the one for me when I told him my standards. I said, hey, this is what I'm looking for, and he literally met my standards. As you heard in the last video, I told him I'm looking for a man of God, somebody who's honest, just characteristics of Christ, somebody that's kind, loving, kind of like me, somebody that's trying to do the right things in life. And I'm not saying that I'm perfect or nothing, or that he's perfect, but we trying to be more like God. So I told him that's what I was looking for, and he basically met my standards. And that's one reason how I knew that he was for me. Number two, one day we were on the phone and he was like, hey, have you heard of Russell Wilson and Sierra? And I was like, no, what about them? And he was like, well, they made like this deal or whatever to wait to have sex before marriage. To wait to have sex after marriage. And so I was like, oh, really? Cool. Like, that's good. And so he was like, yeah, question. And I'm like, yeah, what's up? And he was like, would you be upset or mad if I asked you to wait for me until marriage? And I was like, no, I wouldn't be mad or nothing. Like, I'm happy because, like, guys in our generation, a lot of them don't cherish things like that or ask things like that or say things like that. So when he said that, it just made me feel like a different way about him that I've never felt about anybody else. And it also made me see that, man, maybe he is the one that I'm supposed to be with in life. He was just different. Number three, nudes. So because we were in a long distance relationship and obviously weren't having sex before marriage, it was just so crazy that he never asked me for a nude picture. Now, I say that because people that I've dealt with in the past have asked me, and we live like in the same city and stuff. But it's just the fact that he never asked me, and in my mind, I'm like, how come he's never asked me this? Because isn't that what guys ask for? Like, I was clueless. That's what I thought. So I told him, I asked him, I'm like, hey, how come you never asked me to send you a nude picture? And he was like, because I wouldn't want nobody to ask my mom or my sister that. So I'm just trying to respect you. And I'm like, he's trying to respect me? Aw. So, like, I don't know, just the fact that he was respectful towards me, and the fact that he asked me to wait for marriage, and he met my standards, and stuff like that. That's what made me see that, okay, maybe he is the one for me. Also, there was this one time where my dad was like, hey, Destiny, and I'm running downstairs like, what's up? And I'm thinking, like, maybe I'm in trouble. Like, what did I do now? What's going on? And my dad was just like, I had a dream about you last night. And I'm like, what kind of dream? And he was like, oh, you basically was getting married in this dream. And it was just so big and nice and beautiful. And everybody was just like, just so blessed to be there. And you were blessed because of it. And everything was just on point. And so that was kind of like a little confirmation to me that, wow, like, Malik is probably definitely the person that I'm supposed to be married to. And so, yeah, so just those few things right there. Also, graduation day, I remember that I was praying like, Lord, if he's for me, allow my family to like him, allow them to, allow everything to just go smooth and allow everything to just be on point. And so graduation day, as I talked about in another video, it went very well, and I liked him in person. My whole entire family loved him, and everything was just on point. So my friends that did get to meet him, they liked him as well, and it just worked out. And so that was all the more reason to say that, wow, this man is probably the one for me. Like, he's like a soulmate towards me. And also, I was at this church one day, not my church, but someone else's church, and this lady was like, you, and I'm like, me? And she like called me up to the altar, and she was like, have you been praying and asking God for a husband? And now at this time, let me rewind. At this time I was 17 years old, and my prayer was just that, Lord, please let me get married young. I want to get married young, but Lord, let me be the right person. Let me be a good person. Like, make me a good wife, so when the time is right and I get married and stuff, I can be a good wife to my husband. So basically I was praying, Lord, work on me. So when I was at this church, she said, have you been praying and asking God for a husband? Now, I was only 17 years old, and I was like, no. But I've been praying that when I do meet the right person, that I'll be the right person for that person. So she was like, wow, a lot of adults don't even pray that prayer. And I was just like, yeah. And then she was telling me like, well, I don't see you making it to the age of 25, not married. And she was like, hold on, wait a minute. I don't see you making it to the age of 22, not married. And I'm like, whoa, like, dang, that's crazy. But you guys, I'm happy to say that I got married when I was only 20 years old. So, yeah, which was like 4 months ago or 5 months ago. August, September, October, November. Yeah, 4 months ago, almost 5. So yeah, so it just was, you know, a blessing, and that was even more confirmation to say that, wow, I'm supposed to be married to this guy. And I think that was maybe, that lady said that, the prophetess at the church, she said that like right before I met him, or either right after I met him, something like that. But it was all like during this time frame, so it was like crazy, because it was like I was praying, Lord, is this the person? Like, I don't want to be wrapped up in the wrong person and go through what I went through in my last relationships and stuff. Like, is this the right person? And it just seemed like God was like, okay, here's something to make her know that this is the person. Wait, here's another thing to make her know this is the person. Here's another thing. And it just like lined up, boom, 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 and everything was just wonderful. Also, last but not least, how I knew that Malik was the one for me was my prayers. Like I told you guys, I prayed so many prayers. Like, for instance, one day I said, Lord, if relationship is not like you, just let everything be ruined. Don't let it continue. Don't let me get feelings for this guy. Just let everything be done. And obviously, we're still together. So you guys know that, you know, everything worked out. And yeah, I just found out that, wow, he's the one for me. And I got all these confirmations. Like I said, I was praying that my parents liked him. Before he came down, I prayed that, like, Lord, please let my parents like him. If they like him, then, you know, he's the one. If not, then he's not. And they loved him from day one. And so that's just how everything went. And yeah, so those are basically the few reasons of why or how I knew he was the one. I will reiterate. The first one was when I told him my standards and he met it. Second, waiting till marriage. Third, no nudes. Fourth, my dad's dream. Fifth, my graduation day. Sixth, the lady at the church. And 7, the prayers. So thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned. I probably will have a special video coming up soon, and that video will have Malik in it for the very first time. So you guys just stay tuned. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys later.